Live from Chicago, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 5 starts right now.
And we start with breaking news. A Secret Service agent shows up at a Chicago elementary school.
The search for a hit-and-run driver after a woman is killed in a crosswalk on Chicago's west side.
And we are slowly thawing out. Cheryl Scott tracking warmer winter weather for us. First, though, we start with that breaking news tonight. Tense moments at a Chicago elementary school. Chicago Public Schools saying that someone claiming to be an immigration and customs enforcement agent came to the school this morning.
Then late this afternoon, the ABC 7i team learned it was a Secret Service agent and not an ICE agent that tried to enter the school. It happened at Hamline Elementary School near 48th and Ashland. Our Evelyn Holmes is there live with all of it. Evelyn?
Well, the neighborhood quiet now, but it was not a few hours ago. That's when a U.S. Secret Service agent investigating a threat ended up coming to the school and was mistaken for an ICE agent. A community in fear after public school officials incorrectly say ICE agents showed up at this grade school on the city's southwest side.
It's horrible. It's bizarre. I wouldn't imagine this happening to me as I was a child.
Hamline Elementary School went on soft lockdown today. According to the Chicago Public Schools chief education officer, ICE agents showed up at this back-of-the-yards neighborhood grade school unannounced around 11:15 Friday morning.
We will not open our doors for ICE, and we are here to protect our children and make sure they have access to an excellent education.
It turns out it was a Secret Service agent investigating a threat made by an individual who the agent had tracked from their home to the school. After being denied entry, the Secret Service agent left. Secret Service, it was in response to a threat that a supposed student made toward the current administration. Had you heard that?
No, I didn't. I did not hear that. Like I said, I heard what I heard about the immigration being here from a parent that was inside, but nothing of a threat, nothing like that.
Yeah. CPS rapid response teams, along with several community groups, descended on the neighborhood. According to the 2025 Illinois report card, Hamline Elementary school population is 92% Latino.
We are united, and the schools are a sanctuary of learning.
Chicago police say they were not made aware of any immigration activity in the area. This afternoon, a spokesperson for ICE says that there was not a U.S. immigration or customs enforcement encounter. The incident comes amid heightened concerns in the city's immigrant communities following the Trump administration's announcement that it will pursue targets for deportation at schools. Now, many will say that it's that fear that exists that created the confusion, that created this circumstance. But many in the community say it doesn't mean that they shouldn't be fearful and that the danger of deportation still does not exist. Back to you.
Thank you for sorting all of that out for us. Concerns about immigration raids are already impacting school attendance in some areas of Illinois. The state superintendent of schools says it's enough so that he's concerned about the trend. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is suggesting planned raids in Illinois could be political payback. New at 5, political reporter Craig Wall has the latest on how the state and schools are responding to the threat of federal immigration raids.
The fear of mass deportations has had a chilling impact on many communities with large Latino populations. Now it's hitting home in schools. State Superintendent of Schools Tony Sanders meeting yesterday with district leaders from Aurora and Elgin.
So I've been in many schools this last week, and I've talked to many superintendents that have seen a decline in attendance this week, especially among our Latino population, who are fearful of sending their child to school. They're hunkering back at home. They're not separating as a family.
Sanders this week issued a directive to schools across the state with reminders about protections afforded students regardless of their immigration status and how to prepare if ICE agents show up. The empty desks, a big concern.
Kids that are not in school will not learn. And, post the pandemic, we've seen already a decline in attendance. We don't need to see a further decline in student attendance based on threats and fears.
Governor J.B. Pritzker, after touring an early childhood learning center, wondering if the areas the Trump administration is or has promised will be targeted for deportations could be politically motivated.
If he is somehow, holding a grudge against people who didn't vote for him, whether they're politicians or a state that didn't vote for him, that's wrong.
Some Trump supporters, though, cheering the deportations that have already started.
I think it's a great thing. And President Trump said he did it, and the people overwhelmingly voted for President Trump, and he's fulfilling a promise that he made to the American people, and I think it's great.
I asked the governor if people should be surprised that President Trump is doing what he said he would do.
Should we be surprised? Well, yeah, because if he fulfills a promise, I'm surprised. And when he doesn't fulfill a promise, I guess I'm not surprised. But you're also like, what do I trust? What can I trust that comes out of his mouth?
The governor said those who are undocumented and have committed violent crimes should be deported, but he said those who have been here for years and are just going about their lives should be protected. But at this point, it's not clear if they will be. Craig Wall, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Craig, thanks very much. And as you saw there, the Trump administration is starting to use military aircraft to deport migrants. The Department of Homeland Security is saying that the first flights left Briggs Army Airfield in Texas, bound for Guatemala last night. And earlier today, right there on X, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt sharing images of handcuffed migrants lining up and boarding a military aircraft. The migrants recently crossed the border and were in Border Patrol custody.
New here at 5, a woman is dead after a driver hit her and then took off. This happened just before 9 this morning near Huron and Oakley on Chicago's west side. Police say the woman was in the crosswalk when she was hit. They say the driver was in a 2022 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. The Cook County Medical Examiner identified the woman who was killed as Helena Hudson.
A Chicago woman is questioning why police shot her grandson while responding to a call at her home. This happened yesterday in the city's Mount Greenwood neighborhood. Police saying that they were responding to reports of a person with a gun, and when they got there, a man was leaning out of a window. The woman tells our Leah Hope she hasn't been allowed to see her grandson, who is now in the hospital.
Today, so many questions.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what happened. I hope one day we find out.
A Mount Greenwood woman tells us her adult grandson was shot by police Thursday in her home.
The only I hear his voice saying, "Why you shoot me? Why you shoot me?" I mean,
he said that.
Yeah, and he's screaming in pain.
Chicago police were called to South Millard for a report of someone with a gun. Investigators say a man was leaning out of a window. Officers tried to de-escalate the situation and told the man to keep his hands visible. During the encounter, an officer shot the man who fell from a second-story window. Today, the man's family tells us he is in critical condition and they have not been allowed to see him. More than that, relatives tell us they don't know what led to the encounter. They say the man was home alone doing an online course, and when they returned to the house, it was surrounded by police.
It's so painful, so terrible, that I just wish that nobody else go through this.
Chicago police has referred all questions regarding this case to the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, known as COPA. COPA confirms they are investigating, and as is routine, the officers involved in the shooting are on administrative duties. In the Morgan Park neighborhood, Leah Hope, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
A man is killed in a shooting that led to a crash in the city's Austin neighborhood. Chicago police say the victim was shot twice in the chest before slamming into a Ross store at North and Cicero. It's still not clear what led up to that shooting, but police are linking it to 2 other crime scenes. One was just a few yards away in that very same strip mall. Another was about 2 miles away at Washington and Cicero. So far, no one has been arrested.
Michael Madigan's attorneys began their closing arguments today in the former Illinois House Speaker's federal corruption trial. Madigan and co-defendant Michael McLean are accused of running a nearly decade-long criminal enterprise designed to enrich Madigan and his political allies. They both deny any wrongdoing here. The defense's closing arguments are scheduled to continue on Monday.
Well, it sounds like we could see some flurries over the weekend.
As we take a look at the dusk here on a Friday evening with more bearable winter temperatures on the way. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott joining us now with her ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. Feels okay out there.
It's okay, but we're going to get better here as we go through the weekend and especially next week. Outside right now, we're in the double digits, positive side of things. We will take it, currently sitting at 21, basically our high temperature for the day. But then we factor in that light breeze. It feels like it's anywhere from about 5 to 15 degrees outside. A warm up on the way for tomorrow. Before we get there, though, clouds on the increase right now. Notice some light flurries trying to get going here just back to the north and west with a disturbance that's going to swing through parts of the Great Lakes. And as this does and it pivots through, we could find some flurries, some very light snow flying around tonight. Little to no accumulation, but where that snow does fall, it could stick rather quickly because we've been so cold. You can see our futurecast tonight showing a few flurries passing through between about 8 and midnight. As we head into the early morning hours, we're still cold, but notice our temperature is not dropping. And as we head into the day tomorrow, yes, again, the possibility of a passing flurry or two, but the focus, our temperatures, we are getting above freezing starting tomorrow. We take a dip on Sunday, but we'll take tomorrow and then talk about how mild it will feel, comparatively speaking, next week. Back to you.
All right, welcome news. We'll talk soon, Cheryl. Thanks. We're learning more about a new development coming to Aurora. The 50-acre site will include a sports complex and restaurants along with high-end and affordable housing. Today, Mayor Richard Irvin shared a preview of the so-called Aurora Premier Experience District. The site will be the third development in a larger district that includes the Chicago Premium Outlet Mall and the upcoming Hollywood Casino Resort. It will be built on Bilter Road at I-88 just east of Farnsworth Avenue. Developers are now working on a plan to present to the City Council.
A surprise for a teacher who has gone above and beyond for his students, so just ahead how he's making Chicago proud.
Fire safety from the pros. First responders team up with the Chicago Bulls to give school children a life-saving lesson.
And an admission of guilt from a former gym teacher in 4 cases involving young students.
You're watching Eyewitness News live on ABC 7, Hulu Plus Live TV, and wherever you stream.
A former Chicago Public Schools gym teacher is sentenced after pleading guilty to sexually assaulting students in 4 different cases. Andrew Castro will serve 17 years in prison for grooming and assaulting 3 boys dating back to 2017. At the time, Castro was a gym teacher at Lorca Elementary. Last year, the school district reached a $2 million settlement in a lawsuit over the abuse.
The Chicago Bulls are bringing some fun to fire safety. Yeah, that was a scene. The energy rocking today at Robert Healy Elementary in Chicago's Bridgeport neighborhood. Students there got a crash course on staying safe in a fire emergency with a special appearance by Benny the Bull. The kids taking part in a safety set of activities, and they got to take home some home smoke alarms. The Bulls, the CFD, and First Alert hosting that event.
Well, making Chicago proud tonight, a big surprise for a longtime teacher and mentor in Aurora. There he is. The group's Buddies Helpers surprised Josh Robinson during an assembly today at Mattea Valley High School. Robinson is being honored during National Mentor Month. He was given 2 tickets to next year's World Cup and a donation to his favorite charity.
It's a teacher they'll all remember. And guess what? We are getting a warm-up over the weekend. It has been frigid this week, and Cheryl says we might actually see some flurries first, though.
And a face cream recall, the warning about a popular product that may be part of your beauty routine. We'll tell you what it is.
And home sales slumping to their lowest level in nearly 3 decades. What buyers and sellers can expect in the months ahead. Welcome back. We have some breaking news right now out on the Dan Ryan Expressway. Take a look right there. It is busy with first responders. Chopper 7 over the scene. It's a rollover crash. These are the inbound lanes near 59th Street. No word on any injuries. You can see a vehicle there turned right over. That accident, though, of course, tying up traffic.
A popular brand of face moisturizer is now being recalled. It involves First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Cream in coconut vanilla. The Food and Drug Administration says jars that were supposed to be quarantined were mistakenly distributed nationwide. The creams were sold exclusively on the First Aid Beauty website.
Are you trying to buy or sell a home? Well, mortgage agency Fannie Mae is predicting weak sales for the first half of this year. Existing home sales last year fell to their lowest levels since 1995. And this as high prices and mortgage rates kept many buyers out of the market. Now, despite all those conditions, existing home sales did rise a little bit at the end of the year by just over 2% back in December.
Well, a frigid kickoff to the weekend, but warmer winter air is apparently finally on the way. What does that mean?
It means that picture is even prettier than it looks. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott here now with our ABC 7 AccuWeather forecast. Hey, Cheryl.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining next week, especially after this past week. We have been dealing with the frigid, bone-chilling cold for far too long, right? Right now we sit at 21 degrees. We do have clouds on the increase. Currently looking at radar, we are quiet, but the possibility of a few passing flurries, light snow showers in the forecast tonight and into the day tomorrow. Today's high coming in at 21. We started the day off at only 2 degrees, and the average for this time of the year is 31. We'll be near and even above that come tomorrow. But take a look at January. The calendar just full of blue, almost a handful of days with temperatures near and above freezing. But as we take a look at these stats, with all of these below average days, highs in teens and single digits some, the average temp for the month right now coming in close to 20 degrees. That is well below average, almost by about 6 degrees. And we know this because we've been feeling it. Outside right now, we have teens and low 20s. O'Hare sitting at 21 degrees with wind chills in the single digits, some of us in the double digits. Midway, it feels like 12, O'Hare 11, Plainfield 18. Clouds with us right now, and the good news, notice those winds moving in from the south and southwest. So temps tonight won't be dropping because this morning it was so cold with those temps near zero. Satellite radar, you can see a few specks beginning to pop up on the screen. Some isolated snow showers, a disturbance up to the north and west of us. This is rather weak. It will be swinging through parts of the upper Great Lakes here as we go into the start of our weekend, and it could bring us a few passing flurries tonight between about 7 and midnight. This is not going to be a big event whatsoever, but don't be surprised to see some snowflakes flying around. Overnight, notice our temperatures not dropping. Tomorrow morning, we start off in the 20s and we go up. Gusty winds at about 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the south and west will allow our temperatures to climb above freezing. This will feel so good tomorrow. We get you some sunshine, but also still have some energy moving through, or we'll have some passing clouds and a passing isolated snow shower. I pause this at 6:15 tomorrow night. There you can see some snow showers working their way through, very brief, and we're not expecting a lot in terms of any accumulation, but because it's been so cold, any snow that falls, it could definitely create some slick spots out there. Now, overnight Saturday into Sunday, we do take another little dip. Sunday, it will be much colder, highs only in the 20s before the nice big warm up arrives early next week. And in terms of that snowfall tonight into tomorrow, there you can see 1/10 of an inch here or there across the area, pretty isolated and scattered. Just watch out where that snow's falling. Could be a little bit slick out there. There's a look at our weekend forecast. Tomorrow going up to 36 degrees. Enjoy it. Sunday, we go back down into the 20s. It will be another chilly day. Wind chills making it feeling like it's in the teens. And you can see that cold air mass that we are stuck in right now. We're talking about this mild air back to the west that will eventually reach us here into the day tomorrow. We're going up into the 30s. We take a little bit of a dip on our Sunday. Into Monday, though, gradually warming up, quickly warming up here. By Monday, we're getting close to 40 degrees around the area, and we continue with the above average temperatures not only Monday, but Tuesday right into Wednesday, and limited storm threat in and around our area, looking very quiet. So let's show you the next 10 days and a lot of yellow. We're switching out the blue. It's time to get our temperatures back to near and above average. So the thaw will begin next week, and that's also a reminder, stay away from any icy conditions close to the lakefront, any bodies of water, because we've been so cold. We've seen that ice formation, but some of that will be melting next week, so unsafe. For tonight, teens and low 20s, a beautiful 7-day forecast for January standards, highs above average almost each and every day of next week, Thursday. A high there of 30. Back to you.
I can hear the pep in your step just giving this forecast.
It's so much better.
Hope springs eternal, and the here's a big headline we're following at this hour. Confusion surrounding reports of a federal agent's visit. This to a Southside Chicago elementary school. Chicago public school officials saying ICE agents were denied entry, but the ABC7i team learning that a Secret Service agent who was investigating a threat showed up at the school. We'll have lots more at 10 tonight.
All right, that's it for us at 5. Thanks for joining us.
And World News Tonight with David Muir up next.